So friends, we continue to keep track on the news and events on the fronts of Ukraine and Russia, and today active battles are ongoing practically along the entire front line, and the Ukrainian armed forces are actively advancing in the direction of Vuhledar. As you can see, the occupiers didn't have to wait long for new attacks from the Ukrainian armed forces. Here, our units are moving toward the key population center under the occupation defenders, Staromlynivka, from the far front line, approximately 4 kilometers to the village. And already there are apparent breakthroughs by 1 kilometer in the occupied territory, because the occupiers began shelling the territory that is under its control. Therefore, whether the Ukrainian armed forces will be able to establish a foothold is difficult to say for now. The situation is really complex, but the Ukrainian armed forces, despite all the difficulties, are progressing toward their set objectives. Also, today an official statement has been issued by the Deputy Minister of Defense Hanna Maliar, stating that Urozhaine is under Ukrainian armed forces control. Previously, we relied only on the map, but today this information is officially confirmed. And before we move on to the front overview, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest news. And in the Zaporizhzhia direction, the area of Orikhi was visited by the president, who discussed the current problems in this direction. Our units complained about the Russian unmanned aerial vehicles Lancet and Orlan, which are often used on the front lines. These unmanned aerial vehicles have about 19 foreign components. Therefore, the President's office is working on strengthening sanctions to rid these drones of import components. And additionally, we can observe that the active phase of the counteroffensive has paused for now, and the occupiers are not launching serious attacks on Ukrainian armed forces positions. Instead, they are attempting to fortify the second line of defense where our units are approaching. As it appears, this line is located about 4 kilometers from Novopokrovka. Right after it is the third line of defense. Breaking through their positions here will certainly be quite challenging. And overall, the situation with the occupiers' defensive structures is very complex. If they were able to strengthen their position significantly within a year, to the point that they are hard to breach now, what will happen if the war continues for another year? It's difficult to imagine what they could achieve during this period. Today, they are ramping up their production of military equipment and ammunition, which could indicate that they will gather even more equipment and manpower. And this might lead to another offensive within a year. Therefore, today the Ukrainian armed forces are doing everything possible to liberate the territory as quickly as they can. And in the Kherson direction, achieved advancements haven't been recorded so far. However, the work to destroy Russian positions continues to reduce their manpower, with the goal of eventual advance toward the Armyansk direction. The occupiers, on the other hand, continue shelling without pauses. Also, footage of the Kakhovka reservoir has already appeared on the internet.
Бідна наша українська земля. Боже, який жах. Ми з Андрієм навіть спочатку не зрозуміли, що це Каховське водосховище. Раніше село було на Каховському водосховищі стояло, а зараз на Каховській пустелі.
As we can see, the ground there is quite solid and personnel can easily move across it any direction. For now, no offensive actions are observed in these directions, but whether any side will take advantage of this land remains a mystery. Local residents are equally shocked by the transformation of the reservoir. In the Avdiivka direction, the situation with Shalin is complex. The occupiers continue to strike the city and frontline settlements, but they are still unable to make progress and capture territory. The Ukrainian armed forces are repelling all attacks, and the front line remains unchanged. Further south, in the areas of Krasnohorivka and Mariinka, active battles are ongoing. Supported by artillery fire, the occupiers are attempting to storm Ukrainian armed forces positions, but all their attempts have been unsuccessful. And in the Bakhmut direction, the situation remains challenging, despite the temporarily held in occupied attacks. Regrouping is taking place and shelling continues. The situation in Klishivka, as before, remains uncertain. The Ukrainian armed forces haven't yet managed to establish complete control in this area, and artillery exchanges continue. In the Crimea and Syrsk areas, there has been an increase in the number of shelling incidents. The Ukrainian armed forces are anticipating a possible Russian offensive in this direction, and the occupied attacks on Bilohorivka haven't been successful. This raises the likelihood that a more significant offensive is being prepared, and currently only shelling is occurring. In the Svatov area, the Ukrainian armed forces have achieved successes. Despite the significant number of occupied forces, they still couldn't break through the defense, and the front line remains unchanged. However, shelling continues, which might indicate plans to attempt breakthroughs in other directions. And in the Kupiansk direction, it is evident that the occupiers are still unable to break through. However, even if they manage to advance in this area, that would need to cover another 6 and 5 kilometers to reach the outskirts of the city. Even then, capturing the city is unlikely, since our forces are already waiting for the Russians within the city. In urban combat, our units have shown themselves to be more capable than the Russians. Unless they resort to highly intense and bloody assaults similar to Wagner's tactics, they are unlikely to succeed. And meanwhile, analysts from the Institute for War Studies have analyzed the statements made by Kremlin representatives at the Army 2023 forum. Traditionally, these statements accuse the West of fueling the conflict in Ukraine and claim that international sanctions strengthen Russia. The Institute's reports notes that the Kremlin is using the Army 2023 forum in Moscow to develop bilateral military political relations with other states and positions itself as a reliable and technology advanced partner. The Russian Ministry of Defense stated that over 77,000 representatives from over more than 1,500 Russian defense industry enterprises are presented over 28,500 defense and technical developments at the forum, with attendees from more than 82 countries worldwide. The Russian Ministry of Defense asserted that Russia held 14 bilateral meetings on the first day of the forum. China's Defense Minister, General Colonel Li Shanfu, spoke at the forum to highlight Russian-Chinese strategic cooperation and express China's readiness for further collaboration. And additionally, experts point out that the Russian Ministry of Defense showcased several Iranian drones at the forum. And today, the head of the Security Service of Ukraine announced that they have successfully established the production of maritime surface drones, which Ukraine has effectively used to attack the Crimean Bridge and Russian ships in an underground facility. According to Maluk, the maritime surface drone that successfully attacked the Crimean Bridge, as well as the Russian landing ship Olenegorski Gornyak and the tank Zig, are proprietary technical development of the Security Service of Ukraine. He added that a team from the Security Service of Ukraine is working on the development of these drones and their manufacturing, with assistance from civilian engineers and IT specialists. The maritime drone that damaged the Crimean Bridge in July 2023 were named Sea Baby. So the head of the Security Service of Ukraine revealed that these maritime drones, which damaged the Crimean bridge in July 2023 were equipped with a warhead weighing 850 kilograms, and for targeting the landing ship and the tanker, 2 separate maritime drones were used, each carrying a warhead of 450 kilograms. Maluk also noted that Western partners are not directly involved in these special operations but actively learn from the Security Service of Ukraine experiences. And that's all from me. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.